Okay. Now we should be good. Everything should be good. I see my volume. You should be able to hear me. Please let me know if you cannot hear me. I'm in the chat room right now. I'm looking at my chat room. I need to confirm that I have sound. People, I went live earlier, around 3 hours ago, and there was no sound for over 20 minutes. The video itself was around 21 minutes long. Right? Shout out to the Observer, Ashar, and Wish in the building. I just performed a system update. Some of you know about it. I didn't know anything about it. And everything is new. Everything is new. So I don't know, maybe I accidentally stopped an update attempt or something, but I lost my sound because of an update. And now when I use the volume, you can see this little volume icon pop up down here at the bottom. And before the update, it will pop up at the top. And it will be horizontal, not vertical. Excuse me, vertical, not horizontal. But anyways, good to see everybody back up in here. Serena, I wanted to do an update to this crazy story. Crazy story. We got more details coming out with this story. Now, before, or at least the earliest reports, they didn't really reveal that it was a family dog. I mean, a family-like dog, even though this was the victim's grandmother. Okay, but the dog knew the boy. I'm going to play one. This is one out of 2 and a possible 3. Because this is crazy. This is crazy to me. How these stories come out so often on such a consistent basis. I mean, this is so proven, like a factory type consistency. And they still treat scenarios like this like an anomaly. Oh, it maybe happens once every 20 years or something. No.
Brunswick, Maryland now. A family is devastated. As Scott Broom reports, a 2-year-old boy is dead. His grandmother says he was attacked by the family dog.
The family involved in this dog attack tragedy is willing to talk to us and share with you a picture of the little boy, but they asked us not to broadcast his name, and we're going to honor that.
Oh, wait a minute. Can y'all see that? Can y'all hear that? Do you have sound in the video? Could you hear that? Because I did not see my my volume meter on my audio mixer. Could you hear the video? Family dog, thank you. Yes, good, thank you. Okay, sorry about that. I had to check that because I did not see the volume meter for the desktop audio, but somehow it's still working.
Reports a 2-year-old boy is dead. His grandmother says he was attacked by the family dog.
The family involved in this dog attack tragedy is willing to talk to us and share with you a picture of the little boy, but they asked us not to broadcast his name, and we're going to honor that.
Complete shock. Yes.
This is the child's grandmother, Kim Russell, who witnessed the attack and who owned the dog.
So the dog was owned by the grandmother, and he was visiting over at her house. Okay, is that too loud? Let me turn that down a little bit.
Even picked my own apartment without him. He was just an angel.
The attack happened about 5:30 last night as an afternoon family gathering for Russell's birthday was wrapping up. The dog is a 145-pound Mastiff Pit mix rescue named Cash, who's lived with the family for 5 years, Russell said. Police and the family said during goodbyes and hugs in Russell's bedroom, Cash, the dog, grabbed the child without warning and would not let go. Children had been with the dog all afternoon.
Now, the experts, they're trying to argue that there was something that provoked the dog. You just didn't see it. You were just not alert enough to see exactly what the child did to the dog. This is like their subliminal message. The child didn't even, or may not have even known that he did something to provoke the dog. But what he did was provocative. And he did it, and that's why the dog died. That's what they're trying to argue, clearly, because they're not getting it from the actual reports. In each dog attack report, it sounds just like this. A dog, for no reason, unprovoked, attacks. This dog has been knowing this boy for years. They was with each other all day. Now, you know how significant that is, of a point that is, that they were together all day? Because it's not like the dog didn't recognize the boy. It's not like the boy jumped out of a minivan in a strange outfit and ran up to the dog, and the dog didn't recognize him and attacked him. No, they had been together all day. The dog had his scent. Do you know how significant this is? The dog had the boy. You can't hide behind, oh, the dog didn't know who it was. Y'all remember the boy who got his arm bitten off? They tried to argue that the dog wasn't aware that it was attacking a human being. That all the dog saw was a child's arm sticking up underneath the fence with a sock over it. So you don't know it's a child's hand. A lie that they just made up just to try to cover for the dog. So, yeah, this is major. This is major.
Bedroom. Cash, the dog, grabbed the child without warning and would not let go. Children had been with the dog all afternoon, family members said.
That dog and the children have played together so often.
Yes. Yes.
Any sign at all?
No, I have 2 older grandchildren that he's practically, he's grown up with, and he's never bothered them. Never.
Here's
No. Now, these stories, how this is really a broken record. This is like all of the stories, almost. They sound just like this. Yeah, the dog never shown aggression and just out of the blue launched a deadly attack. How much more often do they need to do this for us to view them as creatures that are going to do things like this no matter what? We all know that they are. And the heavy push or promotion of dogs is their way of saying we don't care. Right? We don't care. We accept the sacrifice. That's what it is.
For them. Never.
Here's Brunswick Police Chief Kevin Grunwell.
No issues with the dog at all. The family sent a picture of the dog last week, again with the same child, and the child's kissing the dog. So
now, did you hear that? The family sent the police a picture of the dog with the boy. A totally unrelated photo. Here, let me back that up.
Never.
Here's Brunswick Police Chief Kevin Grunwell.
No issues with the dog at all. The family sent a picture of the dog last week, again with the same child.
Last week. So, hey, this is a week ago. He kissed the dog. They know each other. The dog knows him. But at no point did the dog snap out of it. It wasn't a brief attack. Like a human might get frustrated and slap a child or someone. most likely they're going to catch themselves before a fatality. They're not going to beat you to death. They're not going to beat just for no reason, haul off and beat a child that they know that's not a human trait. Could you imagine if we heard a story like this every other week of some man or a woman, some adult, right? Some adult out of the blue for no reason, totally unprovoked, pulled out a couple daggers, started stabbing a 5-year-old to death? Well, this is exactly what's happening. What else is this? How different is it? Aren't they receiving multiple puncture wounds and bleeding out, being tortured? Like, why couldn't you get a poodle or a chihuahua, right? Something that just won't haul off and kill even if it do attack. Why take the chance? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Is it worth it? It's crazy. All right, let me back this up a little bit. So they sent a photo of the young boy kissing the dog, and that was from a week ago. So the dog knew the boy. Knew the boy never showed any signs of aggression. So the dog did something that was inhumane, right? Wouldn't you say that? People don't do that. People don't do that. We don't do that. We don't just jump and haul off and kill a child that we know. Very, very inhumane. And that's why they bend over backwards to try to humanize them. Because they know how inhumane they are. This is a dog thing, right? It's not no temporary insanity. That's how they're trying to push it. Like it's, oh, it just blacked out. It didn't know what it was doing. Oh, really? Yeah, that's exactly why it shouldn't be in the home. Lord.
Well, no issues with the dog at all. The family sent a picture of the dog last week, again with the same child, and the child's kissing the dog. So, they have a history together. Like you said, they played together all day. We're just unsure why it happened.
Grunwell said 2 of his officers were first to the house and found the...
What? How's that? In the dog world, that's not possible. Isn't that right? In the dog lover world, this is not possible. It's not possible for a dog to know a child. They make regular visits. The child kisses the dog. They are together all day. Again, it's not like the boy just hopped out in a strange outfit, maybe with a mask on, ran up to the dog, and the dog didn't recognize him and launched an attack. No, the dog had the boy's scent, knew him, knew what it was doing, who it was attacking. But listen, this is what dogs do to other dogs. Dogs in dog packs will haul off and attack other dogs in the pack. They fight for rank. This is what they do. This is normal part of their life. This is how they fight for rank. They attack. It just so happens that a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old is going to die a lot easier. Not going to put up type of a fight that another dog would. So the dogs live. They just have a scrap. One of them give up. But you have to put forth some type of defense or offense, right, in order to live. If you just get eaten up, that is what happens when they fight your child. Your child just gets killed, right? Right, let me back this up.
Grunwell said 2 of his officers were first to the house and...
Whoa. A little more.
They have a history together. Like you said, they played together all day. We're just unsure why it happened.
Grunwell said 2 of his officers were first to the house and found the child alive and breathing, but despite immediate efforts to save the boy and a helicopter ride to Frederick Hospital, the boy died. Today, Frederick County Animal Control officers...
Whoa. So it's unprovoked, as always. And when he just said that when they found him, He was still breathing. The boy was still breathing. So what does that mean? The boy was tortured. Now imagine every other week at least you heard about a person doing this. I mean, if a person just does something like this once, that's all over the news. I mean, it's going mad. Mainstream media. You will have famous people talking about it. Be an outrage. But a dog do it, they brush it under the rug. Society itself brushes it under the rug. Right? And they just keep pushing these mutants.
We're at the house to collect more information. The dog was seized by Frederick County Animal Control yesterday and is in quarantine, according to a county government spokesperson. She explained authorities could decide to euthanize the dog after completing an investigation.
Hey, look, whoa. This is what they do. So pit bull lovers, you know that this is possible. This ain't no surprise. Y'all know this is possible. And you just take the chance anyways. So have nothing to do with how you raise them. You just want to assume that this lady abused this dog. And you can't fall back on that abuse rhetoric anyways. You can't say, hey, maybe it was abused. You've all accepted that abused dogs can be rehabilitated. Right? You brag about the fact that you found the dog somewhere, cleaned it up, gave it some food. Huh? Y'all brag about that. Share goofy videos of little stories like that. What is this?
They're completing an investigation and notifying Russell, who has the right to appeal. Russell told me she's in such shock she can't even think about that just yet. In Brunswick, Maryland.
Man, they know this is possible. They know this is possible. They're not oblivious to the threat. Stop it. No. Why would you want to brainwash people to believe that something that truly is deadly can be somehow manipulated where it will decide to never be deadly, to never attack? Like you can shape its brain such to make it never want to attack anybody, even though it's designed and in these actually bred to fight and kill. What on earth? Now, look, people, I understand. People, when it comes to like dogs, maybe animals in general, they don't know, they don't have deep knowledge of it. They think that as long as you feed it enough times, it'll never want to attack you. That's how I assume a lot of them go in with that mindset, no matter what it is. And they look and dogs are no different. Just feed them enough times, let the dog know that its food comes from you, then it will never attack you. And then you'll have control over its brain. It won't attack anybody else, right? Because you feed it, and so it's happy all the time. Full stomach. It sees other people, other human beings don't want to. That's what these people think. But that's not what happens. That's not what happens. And then they're just, helpless. Screaming, yelling, and being helpless. Being ineffective and unable to stop an attack that they, contributed to. The dog wouldn't be there if you didn't bring it into the home. I mean, if you got kids coming over, put your dog outside or something. Put it in the basement. Don't let them interact. It's like it wasn't the family dog, like in the sense that that's where the boy lived, but man, that just feels reckless to me. Feels reckless to me. Now, some pit bull owners that they've said, according to them, that when kids come over, they put their dogs away. That should be a part of the requirement. That should be the norm. Now, this is the other media outlet that did a story on this, and it's sort of different.
little boy with a sweet smile was affectionately known as Monkey. His family asked that we not share his name, but says to meet him was to love him.
He was very lovable. He's very shy. He loved his mother very much. He was always with her.
Last night, the little boy was at his grandma's house in Brunswick, Maryland for her birthday party. His family says he played with his grandma's dog all day with no issues, but that right as the boy was leaving, the dog attacked him.
They got along very well. It's just, we don't know what triggered the dog. We didn't think something like this would ever happen.
The Brunswick Police Department says
Now, do y'all believe that? I'm just asking, do y'all believe that they believed? Is she being genuine? Is she being honest when she says that? She never thought something like this
would ever happen. We don't know what triggered the dog. We didn't think something like this.
They didn't think something like this
would ever happen.
Would ever happen. Would. So is that a way of admitting that you were aware that it could? You see? Is that, I mean, it would happen. Well, I knew that it could happen, but I never thought that it would happen. I can understand somebody saying, I've heard plenty of people say stuff like that. I knew it could happen. I knew it was possible. I never thought it would happen because, I have my unique relationship with the dog and understanding. The dog knows the child. They've had good times together. He played ball. The boys thrown. But see, dogs, they don't fall in love like that. Especially when you're talking about bully breeds. Come on, man. They don't function. They're not human. It's miseducation if they're not teaching this in school. These things are not human, and you should avoid them. They have no place in society. That's what they're supposed to be teaching kids. That's the truth.
The Brunswick Police Department says the little boy was flown to the hospital where he later died. His grandma tells News 4 being in the house is traumatizing.
Just have flashbacks, real bad flashbacks on him and everything. I mean, I can't even go in my bedroom to get anything.
She says the dog has never been aggressive. It's a 9-year-old pit bull and mastiff mix.
Okay, so that history, again, heard this all several times. That history of never having attacked in its past means nothing. That's not a talking point you can use when you try to prove that it's safe. You can't even point to the fact that it hasn't attacked anyone, hasn't shown aggression. Those exact type of dogs end up doing stuff like this. And it's consistent, man. So Twilight Zone-ish.
And is currently being held by animal control. An online fundraiser for the boy's funeral has already raised over $6,000. His family says they want people to remember him as someone.
See, how can you be one of these pit bull advocates setting up these marches and rallies to remove pit bull bans and all this type of stuff? I don't understand how y'all can also, at the same time, hear about stories like this. That's extremely bold. That is bold. Yeah, those are sick. Why not get a poodle? You couldn't get I was watching a rabbit earlier today eat a strawberry. I thought to myself, what a harmless creature. I could understand people allowing a little bunny rabbit around their 2-year-old. 2 years old. A 2-year-old has no business anywhere near a pit bull. What? What on earth? At 2 years old, man, that's like an adult next to a lion. At 2 years old, a pit bull can effortlessly latch on to the head and swing the baby around like a rag doll. You hear them quite often describe it in that way, that the child's being swung around like a rag doll. Why would you put your kids at risk of something like this happening? And to be tortured, police get there, a 2-year-old was still breathing. Crazy. Man. You can easily get it. If you're going to get a pet, make sure you don't get nothing that can do this. That makes sense.
One who cared about others.
He was my pride and joy. He knew that his mama loved to collect sloths, and we were in the store. He would.
No. Okay.
He was my pride and joy. He knew that his mama loved to collect sloths, and we were in the store. He would point them out to me. He would come back and, Mama, look. He was just an angel.
Amy Cho, News 4.
I hear the family members. I've heard a lot of family members of victims say things like that over the years. I've heard things like that being said. We loved them, pride and joy, and stuff like that. And I would never question anybody's love for their nephew, family member. But what confuses me is how or why take such a chance if that's the case? I could say the same thing. Like, hey, yeah, I love my nephew. I love my grandson, my granddaughter. But what is it to say something like that if I'm not also going to say, don't bring that dog nowhere near my house? If I'm not willing to say that, to say don't bring a predator in my house, what good does it do to say that I love my family if I'm willing to endanger them? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I haven't figured this out yet.
Such a sad story. The Brunswick Police Department said animal control is now assessing the dog's behavior to decide what happens to the animal.
Oh, what a slap. What a slap. Wow. So because it has not shown aggression in the past and suddenly snapped, if it passed these goofy tests, it might get moved to a different state. Get adopted out somewhere else. That's what happens. That's what happens. Animal control is conducting an investigation. They are going to go to the neighbors, talk to the mailman. They're going to talk to this person and that person. Have you ever seen the dog aggressive? Has it ever attacked? Have you ever been attacked by this dog? If everybody says no, the dog lives. They bend over backwards to keep murderers alive and in people's homes. Even if you just kept them alive. Yeah, I disapprove of that. I don't want my tax dollars even in any way contributing to dog food or dog nothing that supports their existence. Crazy stuff. Why take such a chance? They tell us all of this and then turn around and tell us, oh, by the way, the dog might get put into someone else's home.
Such a sad story. The Brunswick Police Department said animal control is now assessing the dog's behavior to decide what happens to the animal.
Wow. This is crazy. This is so crazy. The craziest part of the world is very sick. It's very sick. Like, wow. You have a proven deadly creature that prefers child victims. Wow. And you bend over backwards to keep them alive and adopt them out somewhere else. You know what? This same dog could end up on an ad talking about every dog needs a home or deserve a home or something goofy like that. Unbelievable. So this story has took a horrible turn. The details that have come out, horrible. My thing is, how much more often do you need to hear stories like this before the laws are changed? People need to talk about it. Not enough people talking about it. That's all it is. Once there's enough grassroots people, then the people with a name and a platform will join in. It's irresistible. Why not? If it makes sense, everybody else is doing it. Why not? But listen, man, y'all want to allow dogs in society in general? I disapprove. But if it were only small dogs, I would not oppose as vehemently. The fact that bully breeds are pushed more than any other breed, and they are primarily responsible for deaths like this, something is always going to be wrong with that scenario. That's a wrong that needs to be fixed, no matter how you slice it. No matter how you slice it. Okay, because this is something that people's going to be talking about for as long as dogs are in this society the way that they are. Really on this earth. Because there are people all over the world, right, who are crusading out here. In every country, right? The analytics are crazy. So we're not stupid. We are an intelligent being. And we know when we're in a primitive state. What else is our brain for? Huh? You better be aware of whether or not you're in a primitive state. We understand that. And we know what we need to do next. So I expect very soon bans to be put in place and attempts to remove them failed. Right? So I'm going to keep an eye on everyone I hear. Anybody, pit nutter organization or whatever. Make sure to put them on blast. What a sick part of the world. Oh, yes. Exactly. Assessing its behavior. Yeah, let's assess his behavior. Could you imagine a person getting treated like that? Oh, let's assess his behavior. Wow. As if they don't know what they're dealing with. They're trying to figure out whether or not they're dealing with a killer. Like, what? That is so disrespectful. Assessing its behavior. Oh, man. So, my weekend has started early. I got off of work early. And I'm going to look at the clock as often as possible to stretch this weekend as far out as possible in my mind. And I'm going to definitely prepare and look forward to this weekend. Remember, Saturday. Dogs, I'm telling you, a lot more often than we think, dogs ruin relationships. They ruin so many relationships. The internet, like Reddit, is full of those types of stories. People having a falling out all over neighbors all the time. It's routine. That's another thing that is consistent. Look at how many disruptions are consistent from dogs. Constant stories of a dog coming in between the relationship between two people. They cause a lot of regression for people. That's how they impact us. Cause us to regress. And then, on top of problems like that, the physical attacks, you have to deal with your impaired immune system because you inhaling extremely toxic, the most toxic urine particles, excrement particles, and other filth and parasites, crazy infections. These things are the death of us on this planet. As intelligent beings, we have the option to drive any creature into extinction that we want and have the power to if our survival is threatened. What is this? Dogs themselves have driven several animal species into extinction. Dogs themselves. So I don't want to hear it. This is a part of nature. Okay? And you better hope that you're the one with the advantage, that you're the one who got the power to drive another weaker, inferior organism into extinction. It is worth it when your own safety is on the line and your health. Safety and health. This is crazy. Oh, get one and bring it inside your home. Oh, yeah, it's the perfect toy for a child. Yet another example of where that'll get you. So until next time, Nutters and Crusaders, I don't see many comments from dog lovers in the chat room. I look in the chat room sometimes. I don't see many. Do they even talk? Sometimes I wonder if they ever say anything. I know some of them, they get real silly and they get blocked real quick, but do they ever try to make a smart rebuttal? Like I look for those types of comments all the time. You think I get flooded with them because you'd have all these experts who visit my channel. Oh, let me teach this guy who's not an expert. Huh? Let me teach him. You don't know what you're talking about. You think they take this opportunity to school me in front of everybody subscribed and watching the live stream. They never show up, and it's so sad. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, experts and behaviorists, and pit nutters. A lot of pit bull advocates. I see your Twitter, your Instagrams, your proud people. You go around these conventions, you support pit bulls in society. We don't hear from you either. I think they understand what they're up against. And I'm not tooting my own horn. Right? But listen, man. This is too much. I get frustrated when people are confronted with a whole lot of evidence and still don't believe. Like they're just holding on for something. Oh, I just don't want to believe. Oh, I just don't want to agree. You're going to have to break. Yes. Oh, so hopefully you all get tomorrow off like I do. And if you have to work, hopefully you're getting some good triple time, at least double time if you have to work tomorrow. And if you are off tomorrow, I hope you enjoy your day. It is still early where I am, not even 2 p.m. yet. So don't be surprised if I get infuriated by some goofy nutter story and hop back on here. And hopefully you all will be able to join me as we continue with this crusade.